Alright, let's see. What to talk about?
Like, what's up, danger?
Aw, hell yeah! A new Transformer movie's coming out! Sweet! What? You read the title of the video. Hit it! What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Foster Cinema, and a new Transformers movie is coming out. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Foster, the Transformers franchise is dead. Nobody cares. I care. Shut up. But I'll go ahead and I'll give you this. The Transformers franchise, domestic box office wise, did peak with Revenge of the Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, when I think about that movie existing, I die a little bit inside.
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
So where can we possibly go from here? Well, we could spin on the source material further, make the gentle and kind leader that is Optimus into a weirdly horny murderer.
No, Optimus! I've come.
And then, somehow, someway, through Hollywood greed, start all over again with a reboot. And frankly, this single film is a lot better than the entire Michael Bay directed franchise, simply because it has a heart, and it is very well written. And as a bonus, it also does a really good job at honoring its source material. You can really see that from the critic and audience reception of the film. It's the best we've had yet. But sadly, it's also the worst performing of the live-action films. However, that's not going to stop me from showing you just why it's so damn good. Now let's get into it. We start our movie with watching a war from afar, but not on Earth, on Cybertron. And as we get closer to the action, we're greeted with several cameos of classic Autobots like Wheeljack and RC as they fight for their lives. Then we get... Aw yeah, baby. We got Optimus Prime looking like he came straight out of the cartoon, which, as I'm sure you've noticed and will continue to, that's a phenomenal trend within this movie. But where's Bumblebee?
Sorry I'm late, hit a little traffic.
He talks. Bumblebee finally talks within a Transformers movie. It's been a long time coming, and...
Decepticons, attack!
I'm never gonna get past this intro, am I? Alright, as I'm sure you can guess what happens next, Cybertron falls, Optimus sends Bumblebee to Earth to establish a base, and then continues the fight. We then cut to Earth as we're seemingly placed in the same position as a war.
Okay, I'm dead already, man.
Nah, just kidding. We wouldn't want to repeat the same mistakes as last time, would we? Anyway, we then meet Agent Burns, played by Mr. Bing Chilling himself, as Bumblebee comes crashing down to Earth. His systems aren't in the best shape, and they only get worse when... Now with no escape, Bumblebee attempts to establish a dialogue.
Please, this is a mistake.
Except, we still got well over an hour left, so you already know that's not gonna work.
Let your friend alone!
This fight is actually damn good, and that's one thing I'll give this movie and the Bay former movies. They got really good fights. Watching this movie now and how it showcases the size difference between Bumblebee and the rest of the bots is something that really sticks out, but in a really good way. He's much smaller than most, making it all the more satisfying when he bravely goes at it and finds creative ways to win. Plus, in this fight, Bumblebee cements himself as an incredibly loyal ally.
Tell me where your friends are hiding.
I'll never talk.
Yeah, B, he's never gonna get a word out of you!
Then let's make it official.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Well, that really sells you on the tragedy of this fight, huh? Anyway, as we come to the end of Bumblebee's disastrous arrival to Earth, he scans a yellow beetle as his memory core fails and his systems shut down entirely. We then transition into Charlie, played by Haley Steinfeld, is our main lead for this story. She's a far cry from
Break down the elemental components of energy on assume a constant K rating. Extrapolate reach of the...
You being a smartass?
Do not hit my car to collector's item!
And frankly, it's a breath of fresh air since she's a character that's written with an enjoyable amount of depth. She's got baggage, a family that she loves but is isolating from, her birthday's tomorrow, and she wants, you guessed it.
You know how I could be an even bigger help around here, Mom? If I had a car.
But before we get to that, let's take a look at how she stacks up to Sam Witwicky. Since Sam was an outsider who was willing to sell his great-grandfather's possessions to buy a car,
I haven't quite gotten them appraised yet, but they've seen many cool things.
Are you going to sell me his liver?
how does Charlie fare with the same premise? Well,
You know, $500 is really all I need to finish the Corvette.
yep, already blew Sam out of the water, but how does she stack up within the social hierarchy? Sam is an outsider who thinks the hottest girl in his class is, well, hot, and he's only got one friend. One weird friend.
Just get out of the tree right now, please. What are you doing? She said dismount?
Then we have Charlie, a girl who drives a beat-up motorbike and works at a hot dog on a stick.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
Plus, she's not interested in anyone because of her one-track mind to fix the car. Which leads me to show you the closest thing that she has to a friend. Hank.
What have you got for me?
Whatever you want. Russians gonna blow us all to hell anyway.
Hank owns a body shop, and in the little screen time he has, he's a delightful old man.
And my toilets are gorgeous.
Moving on, Charlie, while fishing for parts, stumbles upon a shut-down Bumblebee. A pretty great moment for Charlie since any car would come in handy, especially one that, well, turns on. Except, ladies and gents, this single action brings us back and adds onto the B-plot. With a signal being sent across the solar system, we find Cliffjumper with two Decepticons. Now, if you're in the Transformers fandom, you know this can only go one way.
Set course for Earth.
And while they make their way to our beautiful blue rock, Charlie is working on her car. Her dad's car. Now, I know that I've praised movies before for doing the show don't tell method, but honestly, this scene is one of my favorite examples of it. After verbally expressing her frustration with not being able to fix the car to herself, we're treated to a shot of her entering the kitchen of her home and looking at her family from afar as they watch Alf and laugh. In this moment, without any dialogue and just the acting from Haley Steinfeld, you really get the impression that Charlie is disappointed in her family, and more specifically her mother, for just being able to be happy. This'll come back later. After sleeping on that, it's her birthday, and her mom and stepdad give her both the cringiest and cutest presents.
A smile is a powerful thing.
But I know what we've been waiting for, so let's get to it. After spending her day fixing up Bumblebee to the best of her ability, she turns the key and...
That thing ain't even safe to drive. It's a death trap.
what follows this is the convergence of two worlds.
What are you? don't know or you don't have a name. You sound like a little bumblebee. I'm gonna call you that from now on. Bumblebee.
After Bumblebee's amnesia is set up and the heart of our story starts pumping, we're treated to the arrival of the Decepticons.
How underwhelming.
The indigenous life is even wrong.
I'd like to take this moment to point something out. The coloring in this film is just perfect. Whether it's day or night, there's a level of vibrancy and life to every frame. It sets itself apart from the movies that came before and sits right alongside a contemporary that does the same. On top of it being just really nice to look at, it also has a really good sense of humor.
Man,
Danny, I know I look stupid.
not my car, not my car. Please, God, no, not my car!
Anyway, after the Decepticons arrive to Earth and more hijinks ensue, Sector 7 finally meets the murder bots.
The humans are multiplying.
At the same time, Bumblebee and Charlie take a walk in the woods and talk about family,
Siblings, you all love each other.
which is a great sentiment and sign that Charlie's really opening up, even if it is just to her robot pal. Then, in an attempt to fix Bumblebee's radio, she activates the message left to him by Optimus, ultimately nudging our heroes to an unavoidable conflict.
Our war rages on.
This movie, unlike the previous ones, really likes to cook things up in the background while building up its emotional core. Speaking of which, it's home movie night. What can this one be?
Come on, sweetie! All right, Charlie girl! Hello, Brighton Falls. This is Charlie Watson.
No, why would you play this? Sorry. That was the last time I saw him. Get it to start up again. He would hear me.
This is great progress for Charlie. And just to make sure none of us are crying too much,
They literally call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't set off any red flags?
God bless you, John Cena. After this S-tier joke and a really heartfelt moment, it's time to get Memo into the fray.
Excuse me. Sorry to barge in. I just...
This simple implementation of someone else who knows about Bumblebee proves to be pretty helpful and fun for our main character. But it can't be all fun and games because the Decepticons created the internet.
Creating an interconnected web of information.
It's revolutionary. He's a weird guy. You don't notice that about Paul?
All the while, our heroes go to a get-together atop a seaside cliff where teens are jumping off the cliff for clout. I'm sure you can tell where this is going. While Charlie's definitely made progress, she hasn't quite overcome her issues.
This car is an embarrassment. You should have your dad buy you a better one.
God damn! Girl ain't got no chill. Frankly, what comes next, you deserve it. And after getting sweet revenge, getting chased by the cops, and being left alone in the house, Bumblebee decides to entertain his curiosity. This silly goosery actually sets off the system the Decepticons were using to track energon spikes. With the Decepticons now knowing where Bumblebee is and Memo noticing the commotion happening inside, we have a pretty interesting tension being built up. Charlie needs to get home before her mom to protect Bumblebee's existence and avoid getting in trouble for the mess he made. And Sector 7 plus the Decepticons are trying to get there to capture, detain, and maybe even kill Bumblebee. Who will get there first? Find out in the next episode of DBZ. It's Charlie. Come on, we all knew it was going to be Charlie. With such a huge mess and very little time, Charlie's mom arrives with her younger brother, and as she attempts to escape from the situation, everything comes to a head.
Really can't right now. Oh no, you really can, Charlie. You really can.
Your attitude, you're always sulking around. Everyone in this family is trying to be happy. It's harder.
You know, Mom, just because you've moved on and you're happy with your new life doesn't mean I have.
Charlie, overwhelmed with the situation, then just leaves her mom with her feelings out in the open and completely unresolved. And as our heroes get some air, their opposition not only presents itself, but completely and utterly defeats them. Bumblebee is captured, and Charlie feels, once more, alone. Our plot lines are now together, and with her mother not believing her when she explains her side of the story.
Fine, okay, you have to believe me, please. I didn't steal anything.
Stop. Just go to your room.
At this point, Charlie sees Bumblebee as her family, and she's gonna go get him back. But she's gonna need backup and find out where he's being held.
Setting up camp at our own McKinnon Air Base.
If Bumblebee's still alive, that's where they're keeping him.
Well, that was easy. Which is pretty nice because what's coming up is going to be hard. As the Decepticons torture Bumblebee and come to the conclusion that he's never gonna talk, they accidentally turn on Optimus's message and find out that they're in the right place for another war.
Regroup, rebuild, and retake our home. But we must find refuge first.
And again, I really just want to give the writers and the director as many props as I can for keeping the design and the character of Optimus as far away from Michael Bay as possible.
I am coming.
You know what? I'm just going to move on. After hearing all that, the doofus scientist from earlier actually does something good by alarming Agent Burns of the situation. And then... But there's no time to care about him, since we got to save Bumblebee. See, I told you what was coming up was going to be hard. Even so, Charlie refuses to give up hope. And would you look at that? This boot up got the bots' memories back. And they couldn't have come at a better time, because Agent Burns has just arrived to take them all in. Yeah! Go get him, Bumblebee! Yeah! Wait.
Oh shit.
Wait. I said wait, damn it!
Stop!
With Bumblebee back to his senses, our duo has to stop the Decepticons and save the world. It's final fight time, folks, and you know what that means. It means we're in store for an incredibly well done tussle between our little bot and incredible odds, while our heroine makes her way to stop the message from being sent. And after they succeed in the latter, there's only one thing left to do.
You kill us both!
Bumblebee defeated the last of the Decepticons, and Charlie, well... And after they get out of the water and Agent Burns lets them go free, well, it's time to say goodbye. Get your tissues ready, y'all.
You've got people out there that need you. And so do I.
Thank you
You're so much.
for giving me my voice.
Thank you for making me feel like me again.
And after we put such a nice stamp on the adventure, we get... Now you can't get much better than that. Okay, alright, you can get much better. Thank you, movie. And with that, Bumblebee goes back to the Autobots and Charlie comes back home a newer person. Roll the credits. Except, there's one more thing I want to show you.
B-127.
My name is
Bumblebee. See if we got something.
Oh my god, yes!
Now that's what I call a satisfying ending. And that was Bumblebee. All in all, a really nice and sweet movie about a little bot and a girl. Since the latest film, Rise of the Beast, is coming out pretty soon and initial reactions have actually been pretty great, I for one can't wait to continue this journey, and you should too. And that's it for today's video. Hope you had a great time in this little corner of the internet. Hope you have a good day or a good night. I've been Foster Cinema, and I'm signing off. See ya.